Okay, so I guess this video will be called Status Update Part 1 before the break, and Part 2 will be after the break, which is obviously something I can't talk about just yet. And I just want to give you a little bit of an update just so you know what's going on once I'm gone for about at least 1 month, starting from next Friday, which would be June the 1st, because that's where I actually got the very fortunate chance to work 1 month in the USA. And that was actually the most fortunate timing that I could have had, because you've maybe seen the past few videos where, especially if you follow me on Twitter, I've said that I was burned out, that I was full of YouTube, and I was pretty much already good to quit. And then this break came and I got a little bit of time thinking about it, because I didn't really release that many videos anymore, and I just had to kind of go into myself and just accept one thing: I have been doing way too many videos, especially over the last 2 years, because I've put out last year I think like 450 videos, and already this year I'm at roughly 180 videos. And we have just about that many days passed in the month and the year actually. So crazy amount of videos, and that was just too much. Especially with the bigger you get, the more trolls and haters you get, which is actually very minor portion. But if you have seen my rant recently that I actually deleted because of one quite sane thought, because I just thought my boss just recently found out that I do YouTube videos and sometimes actually checks some of them, and if he would have seen that video, I would have been not in trouble, but I would have had a hard time looking him into the eyes ever again. So yeah, so starting from June 1st I will be gone for at least a month, and that means no videos, because obviously I could have done some from the US, but I decided not to do that. I will see this as a complete break because I needed that, because for the last 2 years already I'm always telling myself, and I've tweeted this so many times, that I'm gonna make a break of like 2 weeks or so, but I never can, because I always have reunits up, and that's actually a thing. I had a hard time because this was on very short notice. I just found out of this trip like a week ago. That is pretty much nothing, and now I had to kind of as quickly as possible get through all the review units, either send them back unreviewed, or what I will have to still to do, or just finish whatever I can do, and some I will just do after the break, which for example would be also the OnePlus 6 review. I still haven't gotten mine, and I don't think I will get it in time. Maybe that would be super unfortunate if it comes maybe once I'm gone, and then it such sits here for a month. I really wanted to have this phone for a kind of long-term review already in the US, but that's another thing. So obviously the reason why I don't want to do any videos in the US is just because it is a business trip, and obviously I will have to work from Monday to Friday, but I have 4 free weekends, and that time I definitely, since I wanted to have the break anyways, I want to see as much as possible from the country, enjoy my time off of YouTube, kind of recharge my batteries, and also actually think about things of how I want to continue going on with the channel. And that's something that I definitely want to talk about in the part 2 after the break, because like I said, I was so close to quitting, calling it all off and doing off that, but then I just thought I still am way too passionate and still enjoy reviewing all that stuff, because once I stop YouTube, especially once all my contacts are kind of gone, if I break off of all of that, I won't be able to just review the newest phones anymore, or headphones, speakers, or anything like that. So I don't want to break this up completely, but what I will definitely have to do is just very significantly tone down the speed. So I would expect what I want to do like 50%. I'm not quite sure if I will be able to do that, or if I will just fall back into my usual pattern. But recently, just think about it, I made almost 1 video a day. Okay, since I do in 2 languages, it's just, let's say, 1 every second day. But 1 every second day, this being just my hobby, it's just so time consuming, because you also have to think about one thing: if I'm doing 1 video every second day, when do I actually have the time to review? Now the good thing is about phones, I can just review them just as I normally do them. But if I review every day, which for example a review, even though it doesn't take much time with my editing, and since I don't need too much preparation, it's still half of the free time that I have a day, and then reviewing gets so short. And I just noticed something: since I had to get rid of all the devices, I had a little bit more time for one specific device, and it's so much nicer to actually have 1 whole week or 2 weeks to actually review a phone and not just having to get through so many phones. Because, for example, someone told me that if my channel is going more into an audio channel, kind of like, and not so much phones, but I told him the amount of phone reviews that I'm doing is not less than last year. Just everything else has gotten more, and that's why the ratio seems less. But I've done, actually, if you see it in an average, more than one phone review per week. So let's say 3 phones in 2 weeks. That's just too much. That's just not allowing me to get the proper feel for it. Otherwise, I mean, obviously it did still, because I wouldn't have released the reviews if I wouldn't have had a good feel for it, because now it's such a usual pattern. You know all the chips by now very well. You know how to, because I have a very consistent testing pattern. I can quickly cover all those phones without much problems. But I want to just use the phone just normally, and that's just so much nicer if I don't have to rush. Because what you will also have to expect is my reviews just getting even later, because so many people told me your reviews, or I'm known for my reviews being always later than big outlets, but that's obviously due to the fact that I'm doing this alone in my free time, and I usually don't have the access quite as quick as some other ones. So if there is a big outlet who just gets the device before the release, like I should have actually, in theory, with the OnePlus 6, they can release it on time, but I have to wait until it's available in a shop, for example Cyberport, where I get my phones from, or Trading Shenzhen once they import it and so on. So that's why there is a delay, and I'm not rushing it. I take the time, and once I feel ready, once I know about the stuff that I would need to know about the phone, then I'm gonna release the review. Also for all the other things, especially my audio reviews, I take way more time for those. For example, a headphone review, I take at least 3 or 4 weeks, if not longer. Speaker reviews, even longer, a month, for example, for a TV and all that, because that's just something that I want to know, a better experience. Phones, I've reviewed so many, it's always the same with few little differences. But other stuff, I will take my time, and that's why I will just review less and take more time for it, and that just gives me more time to actually enjoy the tech, because I've run so quickly through so many devices that I've noticed last year when some people asked me about certain phones that maybe weren't all that kind of memorable, I completely forgot them, and I had to watch my own reviews, because that's the good thing about my reviews. I say in my reviews what I think. And if I forget what I thought, I just watch the review, and then it comes all back to me. Then I know what I have to think about it first, because I don't read scripts or anything like that. So yeah, that was, I would say, relatively quick still there. But I have to say, it's a little bit of an up and down, because I had so much weirdness. But I also have to say, if you've maybe seen the Huawei video, and I don't really want to talk much about that, but with that part being kind of shut off, being a thing of the past, with obviously after a few months, once all those reviews have been kind of a thing of the past where people don't care about it, since I won't review anymore, a lot of negativity will be gone off the channel, because a lot of negativity and a lot of hate that I got from those reviews was just because of those people. So if those reviews are gone, also the negativity is gone. For now it's still there, because the reviews are still quite fresh, and I know it's very unfortunate that all those people who were waiting for newer Huawei and Honor reviews won't get any, when some people tell me that it's the wrong thing. If I don't review it anymore, then they don't know if it's a good device. I should still do. But I told you why. I don't want to review stuff that is annoying for me to review, which was just the case with Huawei phones. And if I'm objective, or maybe way too objective and not neutral because of that, you might think it, but then you can't complain if I won't review it anymore. So I think I did the right thing, because if I would have continued on, people would tell me now, especially what I've said in the review, that I'm absolutely biased and not subjective anymore. And I see that so many people told me in that video that how can I review those phones if I hated the company. But I don't combine the product and the brand. By now I hate the brand, what they do with their products, and that's why a little bit of a hate obviously goes towards the devices. But I don't want to stretch this topic, I've said already, so that someone actually told me if I will kind of give a hook to every video, that not a plan. That's a thing that has passed me. I don't care about it anymore, and in a few months, yeah, there will be obviously many viewers gone who watch those reviews. I don't care. Okay, so hopefully my trip will be good. I will maybe post a few updates in between, some short cracks if something happens, but no reviews or anything like that, because people have been asking when I already in the comments told them that, for example, people have been asking me already, will you review the Nokia 6X, will you review the LG G7, will you review the HTC U12 Plus, and obviously that would have been the plan. And I will still, definitely the big ones, the G7 and U12 Plus and something like the Nokia 6, I still want to review. But I will be even more so selective now, because there are so many mid-ranges and budget phones that people want me to review. I just can't. Like I said, if I'm gonna tone down, instead of making six reviews of 6 phone reviews a month, I will just maybe cut it to 2 or 3, if at all. And then I just can't take everything, but just the thing that I really am interested in. And I said it actually, that I'm just already early in the beginning of the year, that I'm just going to review what I'm interested in. But I still often, because of so many requests, and I just want to fulfill people's requests, if I can review those stuff. Because if I wouldn't be interested at all, I wouldn't review things. For example, like the Moto G6 line. But I did it because I knew people would want to know a little bit about it, even though I did not care personally so much about it. The phones are really nice, but it's just not something that I'm personally interested in, because I am looking at the kind of more premium mid-ranges, like, for example, things that I really am interested in, like the A1 or the A2 or 6X, for example, recently. So that's that. If any further questions, if you want to know something like that, so yep. Otherwise, who knows what's gonna happen next video. Obviously not next video, but I mean once the break is going on, because I think I will release still 1 or 2 videos after this video has been posted, because that's just still there. I have to finish them before I'm gone, but